Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal has begun discussions on addressing the issues seen in foreign employment with 13 Nepali ambassadors to countries including Europe, Gulf nations and Malaysia. Prime Minister Dahal has called the meeting to seek one-stop solutions to the problems. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal holds discussions with 13 Nepali ambassadors to countries including Europe, Gulf nations and Malaysia to prevent human trafficking and ensure secure labor destinations. Employees at the Trivan International Airport Customs Department halt works related to cargo management and export and import, accused of being hassled in the gold smuggling scandal investigation. Several challenges exist for Nepal to achieve sustainable development goals. Nepal's progress 23% on average in comparison to the rest of the world. And Pakistan chasing a daunting victory target of 357 runs in the Asia Cup Super 4 match. KL Rahul and Virat Kohli score centuries for India. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal has begun discussions on addressing the issues seen in foreign employment with 13 Nepali ambassadors to countries including Europe, Gulf nations and Malaysia. On the first day of the meeting, topics including the recruitment of laborers and reintegration following their return have been discussed. Prime Minister Dahal has called the meeting to seek one-stop solutions to the problems. Security of the Nepali nationals leaving for foreign employment, implementation of the zero investment policy, lifting the 8-year-long ban on women for seeking employment in Gulf nations, among other topics, are being discussed. The meeting is also delving into easing the government process related to certification of requisition. Legal solutions for more than 1,000 Nepalis in foreign jails and legitimacy for those working illegally have also been discussed. Management of workers in Europe who have reached illegally is also to be discussed. Around 62,000 Nepali youths have failed to receive legal status in Kurdistan, Oman and Kuwait. Labor experts have suggested for finding one-stop solutions to these issues. Prime Minister Dahal is to address tomorrow's meeting after all the participants state their opinions. The meeting will conclude tomorrow after finding solutions. More than 1 trillion rupees enters Nepal in remittance from foreign employment. Employees of the Trivan Airport Customs Office have staged protest by halting works related to cargo management and export and import, citing that innocent officials of the office have been taken into custody in the investigation of the 60-kilogram gold smuggling scandal. Employees of the Trivan Airport Customs Office released a notice saying that protection has been given to the masterminds and those involved in the gold smuggling scandal, and unnecessary intervention was being made in their work. Around 150 employees had announced of stage-wise protests after employees of the Customs Office were alleged of being involved in passing the gold through the customs. The staff at the Department of Immigration have said that passenger check will also be halted from this Wednesday if their demands are not met. The protest staged by the employees has affected revenue collection. Head of the Customs Office at Trivan Airport, Tekraj Pandey, and spokesperson Ambika Prasad Khanal refused to comment regarding the obstruction created by the protest. However, the Department of Customs says that it is making efforts to facilitate the situation. The department has also urged the employees to cooperate in the investigations. A total of 7 employees from the Trivan Airport Customs Office have been taken into police custody so far for their alleged involvement in the 60-kilogram gold smuggling scandal. The protesting employees have demanded to arrest high-ranking officials and political leaders involved in the scandal. Employees at the Trivan Airport Customs Office had collectively turned in an application on 29th of August last month for their transfer, citing there was no working environment. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, why has the implementation part of agreements struck with various countries not been effective? 18% voted for A, lack of planning, 59% voted for B, poor diplomacy, and 23% voted for C, lack of relentless efforts. And here's today's question. What do you term the protest of the officials of the Customs Office of the Trivan International Airport? Your options are A, fear of action, B, irresponsible step, and C, consequence of absence of good governance. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal is to present Nepal's accomplishments and challenges faced regarding the Sustainable Development Goals during his visit in the United States of America. Nepal has made only average progress on alleviating poverty and famine from the world before 2030. Several challenges exist for Nepal to achieve the targets. The biggest challenge is regarding finding resources to create employment opportunities. Sustainable development goals include eradication of poverty and famine from the world, ensuring healthy life, gender equality, and quality education, among other important aspects. However, not just Nepal, the progress made by the entire world regarding sustainable development goals is not satisfactory. Despite having the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals since 2015, only 12% of the objectives have been achieved so far. According to the United Nations, population of those under extreme poverty has increased in relative comparison to 4 years ago. Famine has reached the state of the year 2005. Gender equality has been pushed by 300 years. Complications surfaced in achieving the targets because of the coronavirus pandemic. In comparison to the rest of the world, Nepal's progress is 23% on average. Including more than 20 million population under the Social Security Program, ensuring employment opportunities for 1 million, and improving the food mechanism disrupted by the impact of climate change have become major challenges for Nepal. Annual investment exceeding 2 trillion rupees is required to solve these issues. Meanwhile, Nepal has done better in the social sector. Notable achievement has been made in terms of maternal mortality rate, school admission rate, and participation of women in politics. At a time when challenges are being faced in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, Prime Minister Dahal's approach in generating resources while attending the 78th General Assembly of the United Nations is being observed with keen interest. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces what should be done to create employment opportunities in the country. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
यही राम्रोसँग सरकारले ट्रेनरको जब दिनु पर्यो त त्यो बाहिर जान सक्दैन
सिपमूलकहरु तालिम लिएर अलि दिए सिकाएपछि अलि राम्रै हुन्छ
एकदमै लगानी लगाएर बच्चाहरु पढ्छन् पढिसकेपछि रोजगार पाउने थोरै पैसा अनि अब विदेश पलायन हुनको सबभन्दा ठूलो कारण चाहिँ यही हो
क्षमता अनुसार चाहिँ उसलाई काम पाउनु पर्यो
विभिन्न क्षेत्रमा तालिम दिने गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ युवाहरु स्वदेशमै बस्छन्
ठाउँमा अब कुनै पनि फ्याक्ट्रीहरु खोल्न पर्यो भइराको बन्द भएको फ्याक्ट्रीहरुलाई चाहिँ सुचारु गरेर जागिरको सुनिश्चितता गरिदिनु पर्यो
राज्यले जसले कुनै उद्यम व्यवसाय गर्छु भन्छ तिनीहरुका लागि सहुलियत दरमा ऋण कर्जाहरु उपलब्ध गराउनु पर्छ
उद्योग कलकारखानाहरु खोल्ने र त्यहाँनेर चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपाली दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरु चाहिँ कामदार स्वरूप राख्न सकियो भने उनीहरुको आय आर्जन पनि यही हो
It's time now for the international news. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un appears to have departed for Russia for a summit with President Vladimir Putin. South Korean broadcaster KTY reported today, citing an unnamed senior government source. According to the report, Kim appeared to be headed to North Korea's northeastern border on a special train, with the summit likely to be held as early as tomorrow. The broadcaster earlier said the meeting could take place on Wednesday. Earlier in the day, Russian news agency Interfax reported Kim was expected to visit the Far East in the coming days. South Korea's Foreign and Unification Ministries said they had no information to provide. The trip, if confirmed, would be Kim's first visit abroad in more than 4 years and the first since the COVID-19 pandemic. His last trip abroad in 2019 was also to Vladivostok for the first summit with President Putin after the collapse of North Korea's nuclear disarmament talks with former U.S. President Donald Trump.
Sports news.
Pakistan are chasing a daunting victory target of 357 runs given by India in the Asia Cup Super 4 match. Virat Kohli and KL Rahul scored unbeaten centuries each to post the challenging total of 356 runs. In the match being played at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, Sri Lanka, which resumed today after being halted by rain, India came out to bat again at their overnight position of 147 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 24.1 overs. Earlier yesterday, Pakistan elected to bowl after winning the toss as India got off to a rollicking start, racing to 121 runs in the 17th over. Rohit Sharma was the first to depart after scoring a well-compiled half-century. Rohit was well supported by Shubham Gill, who also struck a half-century. Sadab Khan and Shaheen Shah Afridi picked up a wicket each for Pakistan. India batted well today and put up a challenging total of 356 runs in the allotted 50 overs without losing any wickets. Virat Kohli top scored for India with a quick-fire 122 off 94 balls, hitting 3 sixes and 9 fours and remained not out. Kohli has become the fastest batsman to score 13,000 runs in one-day internationals, surpassing the record of Sachin Tendulkar. KL Rahul also scored an unbeaten 111 off 106 balls with the help of 2 sixes and 12 fours. Based on a recent update, Pakistan have scored 108 runs in 27 overs, losing 5 wickets. Earlier during Pakistan's batting, the match was halted again when 44 runs were on the board with the loss of 2 wickets in 11 overs. Nepal suffered a 1-0 defeat against Myanmar in their second international friendly match today. In the match played in Yangon today, the first half ended in a goalless stalemate. Gillespie Jung Karki wasted an opportunity to score in the 66th minute to give Nepal the lead. Nepal's skipper and goalkeeper Kiran Chemjong made a save in a 1-versus-1 situation in the 73rd minute. Neng Tun scored for Myanmar in a counter-attack in the 86th minute to seal the 1-0 victory over Nepal. Nepal and Myanmar had played a goalless draw in the first international friendly. Anjan Bishta missed a spot kick in that match. Nepal played 2 international friendly matches against Myanmar in preparation for the upcoming preliminary round of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Nepal will face host Laos in the qualifiers on 12th of October next month. "49 members of the All Nepal Football Association ANFA registered a proposal today demanding for the suspension of ANFA President Pankaj Bikram Nemwang and General Secretary Kiran Rai. Former ANFA President Karma Chiring Sherpa, former General Secretary Indraman Tuladar and a majority members presented their proposal to Senior Vice President Bir Bahadur Khadka with the demand of a special General Assembly. The agenda for the Special General Assembly includes the suspension of ANFA President Nemwang and General Secretary Rai. The proposal was registered by A, B, and C division clubs and representatives of the district associations. Nemwang and Rai have been alleged of operating ANFA against the statute and failing to organize tournaments. Based on the proposal, the Special General Assembly of ANFA must be called within 30 days. They have warned of setting the date on their own if the Special General Assembly is not called within 30 days. There are 86 voters in ANFA. Nemwang was elected the president after seeing off Sherpa in last year's election. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.